Hi, this is Ben Poole for Finextra at Future Money Nordics, and I'm joined today by Ilkka Rotsila, who is the Nordic Strategy Lead for Banking and Financial Services at Accenture. Thanks for joining me, Ilkka. Now, I believe that very recently you've carried out a survey around digital disruption and how that's affecting banks in the Nordics.
Sure. There were actually three main findings. First, we see the Nordic consumers getting much lower level of service in the banking services and actually paying double or even triple more compared to Western countries on those same services. Second, the banks, because of this, they risk as much as 1/3 of their banking revenues across the main product areas: current accounts and deposits, lending, payments, and wealth management. Third, we did ask the banks, and it is obvious that they do acknowledge this threat and the conflict between higher prices and lower level of quality. However, interestingly enough, they are not being so active in changing this situation and serving the customers better.
So why is that, do you think? Why are they not responding?
Well, there are two main reasons, basically. The first is that they have very strong and big legacy organization and IT infrastructure. So it is actually quite cumbersome and slow to address and react. The other one, a bit maybe more interesting one, is that the banks do not want to disrupt themselves. You know, they have very profitable business models. In the Nordics, the return on equity is around 12-13% for the 8 biggest banks. Whereas if you look at the European peers, it's around 6-7% return on equity.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you think they are going to respond in the future in that case? Is there enough pressure on them to make some changes?
Definitely there is. Mm-hmm. All along in the Nordics, we found almost 50 relevant disruptors attacking all the product areas, all the 4 main product areas within the banking, mm-hmm. and actually they are quite profitable. So the banks really are in a tight spot. We can see that most of the banks are thinking about this, and they acknowledge that this is the biggest threat, mm-hmm. but they really haven't the strategy in place and the concrete roadmap on how to get there.
Well, how do they put that in place, would you say?
Right now, what they're doing is that they are building more something I would call digital lipstick. So they're doing some basic mobile banking services with basic transactions, but they're not addressing the analytical part of leveraging the huge amount of data they have from the customers, mm-hmm. to create simple and convenient, fast, and a bit cheaper services for the clients. So I think that's where they need to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so some challenging times ahead for the Nordic banks, it sounds like.
Absolutely.